Hello everyone and have a great day with This Day 3 Years Ago and me, Shivankari Thankachi. Today, July 26th, is a great day to reflect on all that's happened. And like I said in my previous and past episodes, people who had made changes in the world and made the world what it is now. Today, one such pioneer or a world famous world maker or world changer was born, who believed that art should be an occupation or a job and not just a hobby or a passion. And he was the philosopher, critic, playwright, and short story writer George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw was born in Dublin, Ireland on this day, which is 26th July 1856. After a very fast childhood, as he said so, he wanted to become a writer so badly. He wanted to become a writer and take it as a job, but people opposed him back then and said that writing and art subjects, art was only a passion or not a job, not an occupation, nothing like that, just a hobby. But George Bernard Shaw, becoming the rebellious person he is after hearing all these remarks, set off to London at the wee age of 20 in 1876. And then he tried in London to become a writer. But the people in London were no different than the people in Dublin, and they also believed that writing is not a job, but a hobby. So he wrote, and he wrote, but he failed. Then he anchored, then he failed. Then he criticized, then he failed. He did whatever he can, but he failed. And after 18 long years of trying, on 1894, when he was 38, which is 18 years from he left Dublin to London, he made his first ever hit play, Arms and the Man. It was such a hit that one of his idols came to meet him and introduced himself and gave him a lot of tips on how to write and take it as a job, like he always wanted to. And George Bernard Shaw did. And he was an original writer with an original genre, or it's even known as Shavian in the English literature, and he was only second to William Shakespeare, the great playwright. He incorporated philosophy, psychology, and humor or comedy into his plays, all in one mashed up short screenplay. And so that is why he was such a huge hit. And it was no surprise in 1925 he received the Nobel Prize for Literature. But even that only after he tried so much. After his first hit play, Arms and the Man, he had wrote many other famous plays, and my personal favorite and one of the most famous plays of his all is definitely Caesar and Cleopatra, also known as Caesar and Cleopatra. But right after that play, World War struck, and he had no idea what to do. Writing was not a career anymore, and people never respected them. People only wanted to be alive, and that's all what he wanted too. So he decided to become an activist. He jumped from one political party to another, and he did that so much and put both of his legs in two different boats and sank down into the ocean, metaphorically. And soon he decided to stay neutral, or without a party, and stopped becoming an activist, as he was floating away from his dream, which was becoming a writer. Soon after the World War ended, he was once again a renowned and celebrated and well-known writer, or playwright and critic and short story writer, as well as a screenplay writer. And 25 years after receiving the Nobel Prize, which was on 1925, on 1950 November 2nd, he passed away, leaving his message to the world, just like all great stars. And his message was, if you try hard, you'll fail. If you try harder, you'll also fail. But if you try harder and harder and harder for years with dedication and devotion without wavering even a single step from your dream, you'll win. And you'll win so hard, and you'll dream big, and you'll chase that dream, and you'll grab that dream by a lasso, and you will achieve that dream. That is what Bernard Shaw has taught us. Second to Shakespeare, he was one of the most world famous playwrights or screenplay writers. I hope that you will find something from his inspirational life that he had lived, and that you will live it up from your own life. Thank you and have a great 26th July.